How to get rid of bad breath. But contrary to their prediction, I freed myself from bad breath easily and naturally. Are you sick and tired of feeling embarrassed and humiliated by your bad breath? Is your condition making you anxious about social situations and affecting your confidence and self-esteem? No bad breath. Do you worry that your breath might be ruining your relationships with friends, spouse or partner? Are you constantly thinking about ways to cover up your bad breath? Do you stay a certain distance away from people in fear that they will find out about your bad breath? Do you chew mints, use sprays and gargle mouthwash in an attempt to mask your breath? Are you concerned that your bad breath could be affecting your work relationships, and even your career? Do you just wish that there was a quick, cheap and 100% natural remedy for bad breath? Because there is a solution. I'm going to show you a proven and all-natural remedy for halitosis, more commonly known as bad breath, which will allow you to say goodbye to that horrible dragon breath for good. Boost your confidence and self-esteem. Throw away those mints, mouth sprays and chewing gum packets forever, and save heaps of money. Get rid of your bad breath 100% naturally. Instantly improve your personal and work relationships. You'll be amazed at the difference in how people treat you when you don't have stinking breath. Enjoy socializing again, without having to worry about your breath, or whether you're likely to offend the nostrils of every victim you speak to. Be so happy and confident in the freshness of your breath that you could literally grab and kiss the next person you see. Fix the root cause of your bad breath, rather than simply mask the symptoms, and say goodbye to the embarrassment and humiliation of bad breath forever. Does that sound like something you want? I know what it's like to suffer the humiliation and embarrassment of people turning their heads away in disgust when you speak to them. I know how it can destroy your confidence, make you anxious about any social situation, and generally ruin your life. I know what it's like to wake up in the morning with your breath being the first thing on your mind, especially if you have somebody lying next to you, to be constantly thinking about ways to cover it up at work, and to experience the panic that sets in when you realize you've forgotten your mints or mouth spray. So trust me, I understand your frustration at being unable to find a solution. Until now, I had no idea how to solve my bad breath problem either, until I stumbled on an incredibly effective and all-natural solution. Let me tell you how my bad breath nightmare started. I work as a counselor, and therefore a large part of my job involves speaking to people face to face. This had never been a problem for me up until around 6 years ago. At 26, and without warning, my breath began its rapid descent towards face-melting foulness, and there seemed to be very little I could do about it. Nor did there seem to be any reason, obvious or otherwise, as to why this was happening to me. Firstly, I started to notice that people were beginning to stand quite far away from me when I spoke. I mentioned this to my girlfriend at the time, Sarah, who decided to come clean. "James, your breath really does stink," she said. Up until then, I had no idea I even had a problem, so I was shocked, and incredibly embarrassed. So I did what most people would do to fix it. I bought mouthwash, mints, sprays and chewing gum, and made sure I brushed my teeth thoroughly. It would work for a short time, but then the dragon breath, as my girlfriend called it, would come back again with a vengeance. It never seemed to go away for any length of time. It was horrible. I went to my dentist for advice, but all he did was give me a lecture about oral hygiene, which was useless, because I was brushing my teeth properly already. But it just didn't work. And then things went from bad to worse. Over time I began to notice more and more people turning away from me with disgusted looks on their faces, as if they'd just been lowered into a sewer. I would go bright red with embarrassment and then hurry off to the toilet to clean my teeth or use some mint mouth spray. Eventually, my boss pulled me to one side and told me that she's had some complaints from people about my breath. They'd actually requested to be seen by someone else, because of my breath. It was totally humiliating. Over the next few months, my confidence began to ebb away. I was anxious all the time, and scared to talk to friends, colleagues or even family because I was so worried about my rotten breath and paranoid that people were talking about me behind my back, laughing and sniggering. I'd talk really quietly to people, to limit any potential embarrassment, for both them and me. So how did I solve my bad breath problem? Well, I won't bore you with all the details, but to cut a long story short, I realized that I'd been relying too much on what the general medical professionals preach about bad breath. I had to go deeper. Research. And this is when things really started to change. I went on the internet, studied practically every website on the subject of bad breath, bought every book I could find and researched the subject extensively. I visited the National Library of Medicine and devoured every book there was on halitosis, unearthing a whole bunch of obscure facts about the causes of bad breath and the best remedies available. I felt like I was really getting somewhere. In fact, I was so determined to find a solution that I started testing out numerous different potential remedies on myself, often with painful consequences, logging down the results as I did so. Finally found the solution to my bad breath nightmare. I discovered an incredibly effective remedy for my bad breath, and it was 100% safe and natural. Within just minutes, my breath was noticeably fresher and cleaner, and more importantly, my dragon breath hasn't returned since. As soon as I was confident enough that this remedy worked all the time, I started sharing it with other bad breath sufferers. And every single one of them has experienced incredible results. Bad breath free forever. A fast, cheap and 100% natural way to get rid of bad breath. The major causes of chronic bad breath, and how to stop them dead in their tracks, before they ruin your life. Tried, tested and all natural recipes proven to destroy bad breath. The everyday foods you absolutely must eliminate from your diet, and what foods to replace them with. Common medications you must avoid at all costs. These popular over-the-counter drugs are known causes of bad breath. The most effective way to check if you have bad breath, without having to go through the embarrassment of asking people, revealed the terrifyingly close connection between bad breath and gum disease. You need to get your bad breath sorted now, because it could be the sign of something far more dangerous, and potentially harmful to your long-term health. Imagine the joy of being bad breath free, forever. Click here to order Bad Breath Free Forever.